Alright, so taking this under tray off. Looks like the car has been repainted before. And I didn't spray all that well, so. I'll have to clean that off. So I thought I had power washed this, but that was still in that under tray. Ooh, little dead critter. Crap. There's a lot more dirt in this car. Okay, YouTube, so I have figured out a couple things, I think, in terms of my engine. You saw after I took the borescope pictures that one of my cylinders is filled with silt, and the other two also had some stuff in it, and then the fourth one was actually clear. So what I'm going to try and do actually is clean those cylinders out before I move anything. So I'm going to put in some distilled water with a nylon brush. I'm going to sweep around in there. Then I'm going to suck the water out with a vacuum. Then I'm going to put in some 99% isopropyl alcohol to take the fluid out. I'll suck that out with a vacuum. And then I'm going to put some Marvel Mystery Oil or some 0W20 oil down in the cylinders, and then I'm going to rotate them and do the same thing again each time I move a cylinder to bottom dead center. So I've got one that's at bottom dead center right now, and then I'm going to rotate everything, do it again for each cylinder to really clean them out. So that's the step I'm taking now. Okay, here goes nothing. I'm going to put some distilled water down the cylinder first. That's here. Alright, so that's distilled water, and I'm going to take the brush. I'm going to get that down there. And I'm going to turn it around in there, hopefully get some water. Maybe get some silt up there. And I'm going to pull the brush out. And then I'm going to take my syringe here. Try and navigate it through that spark plug hole. There it goes. Get it down into the bottom. And that's everything, including some of the Marvel Mystery Oil that I put in the other night. So, here's what that looks like. It's actually not so bad. Well, actually it's pretty bad. There's a lot of silt and stuff in there. So I'm going to do that a couple more times, I think. I like the way that worked. Okay, so now what I've done, I've cleaned all the cylinders one time with the bottle brush, the distilled water, and the isopropyl alcohol. So now I'm going to raise the car up so I can access the crank. And I'm going to turn it 25, 30 degrees, and then I'm going to do one more cleaning pass through. And then I'm going to put in some Marvel Mystery Oil overnight. And then tomorrow we'll do the first full hand crank of the engine, right? So that's the next step. Okay, so one of the things I discovered while I was turning the crank here was that dirt kept falling from here, and there was a protective cover here. Where'd that cover go? Here it is. There's a cover here. It sits like that. And so I removed the protective cover, and this was all covered in dirt. It turns out this is designed to do this, so that dirt and debris and water and stuff like that can leave the flywheel area and the clutch area. So I washed this cover off, and now I'm going to keep turning here, and we'll see what falls down or comes out. Here, I'll put that on the crank here. Light is in the way. There we go. Okay, so now it's time to see if I can circulate some oil through the engine. And what my plan is to drain the oil again, leave the drain cap off so that it's open, or the drain plug, leave the drain plug off so it's open. I've actually got a magnetic drain plug that I'm going to replace that one with at some point. And then I'm going to try to look at this plug here and connect to that plug a spigot of sorts, or a pump, or an access panel that will allow me to get pump oil into the engine and hopefully circulate some through. And what my goal is to circulate oil in through here, have it go up through the engine, and then come out the drain plug. And I've got a lightweight oil, 0W20 oil, and I'm going to use this. My plan is to use this syringe type thing that I got to put oil in. And we'll see how successful I am. I make no guarantees, but I'm just trying to circulate some oil through the engine in a way to maybe get some more silt and crap out if I can. And then after I do that, I will take the filter off and change the filter again. I'm going to take the drain pan down, clean off the drain pan, maybe even replace the oil filter screen also. So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. Second time draining the oil. This is the placeholder oil that's coming out. There was a little more silt there, but that oil's looking way cleaner. Oh, a little more water and silt. Oh, some more goop. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to take that drain pan off once I'm done with all this. All right, that's coming out though. Just stopping what I'm doing to point out that even after I took the old oil out, this is with the new placeholder oil, there is still a bunch of mud in that engine. So I am going to, after I cycle the oil through the engine, the fresh oil that I'm pumping through, hopefully to circulate through everything without running the engine, I'm going to drop the drain pan and clean that also. And I'm going to keep doing this until this oil comes out clean. We'll see, because I don't want that circulating through anything. All right, here we go.
Let me get my gloves.
Okay. I hope this works.
I'm guessing there's...
Will you slide this rag under the drip that's happening there? That's okay. We're almost done.
Too bad that... Well, I'm glad we closed the clean oil because it's almost going directly.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. Here. That's it. Now I'll suck it back.
I see good flow, good clean oil coming. So the coolers are still dirty.
Yeah, that's okay. I was going to do those separately anyway.
I'm still getting dirty oil.
Yeah, dirty oil coming out. That's okay.
Right,
You're not getting water coming out.
Can I release?
Yeah, release. You're not getting water coming out. That's... Look at that.
Pretty clean.
That is clean oil. There's a couple of bits of silt still probably from the drain pan. I don't think it looks any better than that. That's awesome. Okay, so here's the oil pan off. There is silt and looks like a little bit of rust on the bottom. Not too bad though. I'm gonna be cleaning this all out extensively. And then more exciting is the bottom of the engine. And there is the screen that I'm gonna need to replace, as there's clearly some stuff in there. Got a new screen on the way. Here's the bottom of the dipstick. Overall, it doesn't look that bad, in my opinion. Should be okay as long as I clean out the screen. And like I said, I got a new screen coming. That's the bottom of the cams and everything. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, so here is the oil pan, and there's the silt that's still in there before I clean it out. Notably, there's no metal pieces in here, which is good. No chunks of stuff, no bearings, no pools of silicone or anything like that. I've got to scrape off the old gasket material, and I'm going to do that after I clean it. And I'm just going to get started on cleaning this now. And scrape off and clean off all that old gasket stuff using plastic razor blades, no metal. And then we'll work on changing the screen out down there at the bottom of the engine and go from there. So many of you know that I'm a clinical psychologist at a major medical center, and I work with patients every day. In clinical psychology, one of the things we don't do is shock damaged systems back to life, and the same is true here working on this car. We restore safety first, then circulation, and then movement. In people, that circulation looks like learning to breathe again, letting your emotions flow again, and your nervous system sort of remembering how to self-regulate. This engine that I'm working on went through a flood. It has water where oil should be. And the worst thing I could do now is pretend that it's fine and just turn the key. So instead, what I'm going to do is push fresh oil through all the passages, letting it sort of wash the system clean before I even ask it to work again. After that, I'm also going to look inside the cylinders, not to necessarily judge the damage that's there, but to understand it. You don't build confidence again by pretending damage didn't happen. You rebuild it by proving sort of one rotation at a time that movement is safe again in people and in engines. And so that's what I'm going to try to do in this episode and on this channel is continue to draw parallels or similar parallels to that. Hope you enjoy this episode.